Was there anything you want me to ask, or you kind of just want to talk?
Well, I have two experiences that I want to talk about.
Okay.
One of them is psychiatric hospital, when I worked with a psychiatric hospital when I was 26.
Okay.
And also when I worked with juvenile detention centers.
Okay.
I was 30 something.
Oh wow, you've been around like the system quite a while.
I've been working with, how do you say, the marginalized population all my life.
Oh wow.
All my life.
So you're pretty much exposed to a lot.
Except for people with disability
Yeah.
until I started with Dr. McGee.
Okay,
Yeah.
honestly, just go ahead whenever you want.
Okay, so thanks again everybody at CORE for this amazing opportunity to be here in Canada and share with other gentle teaching people from around the world in 2024. And I want to tell two stories. Basically, one, when I worked in a psychiatric hospital, I was about 26. I had just finished my master's degree, and we had to do a year of not community service, but government service. So we worked for very little money for a government agency. And I was a little bit scared when I was assigned, because there was a raffle, and you could say, okay, I want to be in this place, and they would raffle the spots among the people that raised their hands. So, like always, I was speaking with the person beside me. I wasn't paying attention, and all these people raised their hands. So I asked a friend of mine from college, from the university, hey, what is this place? And she's like, oh, well, that's what you get for not paying attention. And I'm like, she's going, she's not going, I'm going. So I raised my hand without even knowing where I was raffling for. So this was a psychiatric hospital, a government psychiatric hospital, which are usually where they say that where they put everybody where they don't know how to help them, they put them there. So I was like, oh my God, what have I got myself into? So the first day, my boss there, he's like, okay, Sylvia, you're lucky because there's a psychiatric ward with no psychologist. And I was like, okay, and it's the male, what was it? It was like the male population with the worst diagnosis. And I was like, okay, I'm very lucky, I guess. So yeah, it was beautiful to work there. I worked there for a year, and it was beautiful because I realized these are just people that don't feel love, have never feel loved in their lives. And even though they did have their psychosis, they did have outbursts of anger and all of this, it was so easy for me because I wasn't using psychology. I was using gentle teaching. It was just helping them feel safe and loved and being kind to them. And I remember I was giving them group therapy, but these men could not keep us up. So my boss is like looking out the window, you're crazier than these men. But it was beautiful because we sat in a circle, and these were men that were not left alone with anybody because they thought they would be, they would get angry and hit someone or hit the other participant or patient. And they were just so kind to each other when they were with me. And I realized that, and this is something that I have seen with the gentle teaching community to the places that I have visited, is that the employees say hello to the other employees in one way and say hello to the participants in another way. Either it be hugging or kissing or high fives, but it's a different way. So I started saying hello to everyone the same way. And I also took this to my other experience working in juvenile detention centers in Puerto Rico. And also this time I didn't know where I was going again because I just saw an ad, we have a job, it pays this much, it's near my home, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go for this and go to the interview. And it was like, oh, it's jails. What? With juveniles? Oh my God, I have no experience with this population. Well, I need a job, so I'm just gonna go and see how it goes. And I have two stories. The first one is the first day. I have this activity for them to cut some things and do some drawings and It went perfectly. And I get a call from my boss around 10 o'clock. And she's like, Sylvia, did you bring scissors into the activity today? And I said, yes. Did you get all the scissors? And I was like, I think. She's like, This is a detention center, Sylvia. They're missing a scissor. If you don't get that scissor tomorrow, we're gonna let you go. So I go to the area where they lived, and I said, hey guys, did you like the activity we had yesterday? And they're like, yeah, it was great, we loved it, thank you very much. And I said, would you like me to come back tomorrow? And they're like, yes, please. And I was like, okay, I need the scissor that's missing. And they all looked at each other, went back, got it, and brought it to me in pieces. So I could stay. I stayed in the job. I worked there for 4 years. But the other story that I really like about this place is the fact, the safety, I wasn't thinking about safety. I wasn't thinking about their own safety or the rest of the employees' safety. And that's something that if you're working with people with disability of any kind, you have to think, because they might hurt themselves without knowing, or somebody else just because they're angry or they don't know how to express their anger. So safety is the part of that story that's important. And this other story is that I couldn't hug this. They were from 9 years old until 19. So I couldn't hug them, So my hello was, the handshake was a hug, and putting both hands around their hands was a hug and a kiss. So they knew every time they would see me, I would give them both hands. And it was a way of hugging them and kissing them without having to. So yeah, that's all I wanted to share today. Thank you, David.
That's perfect. When you're speaking about that, it reminds me of a literal incident that happened to me when I was working at the group home. Was we work with a lot of kids who have suicidal ideations a lot. I remembered one day that we were just out doing an activity, and I was just talking to this kid that we're taking care of, and she was really shy, but I kept talking to her, kept not
finding ways to engage.
Yeah, being persistent for more than what she wants, but I knew that the more I talked to her, the more she was coming out of her shell. And then later that evening, I remember she had a great time during the activity and participated. I was like, thank God. And I remember during that evening, we were getting the kids ready for bed. I remember she brought me into our office in the house, and she was like, I have something to give you. It was a pair of razors, because she was ready. She was a known cutter, and just the fact that she gave it to me, I was like, wow, all I did was just talk to her, trying to get her comfortable.
That's not all you did. You did a lot more.
That's all I thought. And I was like, wow, this is. I was just shocked.
It felt natural to you, but it wasn't natural for her. She wasn't used to that kind of treatment.
Yeah, and I think yesterday they're talking about, during one of the sessions, they were saying how you need to be able to be filled with love in order to give love. And that stuck out to me. I was like, she probably didn't have anyone to talk to or to even relate to with a lot of things, even her interests. And it was just that little mutual thing that we had, and all of a sudden she was able to be open. I was like,
wow,
this is fantastic.
So great.
Oh my God. And not to steal anything that you said, but it
just
totally reminded me of that
my
incident.
story is nothing compared to yours.
That is amazing. You probably have so many
that
stories.
That is amazing. But, and I would like to share one more story.
1000%.
I would like to share one more story with Dr. McGee, and this was another lesson that I learned from him directly, was the fact that when you're speaking to someone, and you being a caregiver yourself at some point, you must have probably have done this 100 times or more, but maybe you didn't realize. So I want to share this with people so that they notice. And it's so simple, but yet so important. Even now that I give coaching meetings, I see this in people, and I saw it first with Dr. McGee. That's when he told me. So he started talking to people or singing to people or dancing with people, and when you see them go, then you made a difference. Yeah. Have you heard that before?
No, I haven't actually.
So you can if you pay attention, this can happen with your friend, with your partner, with your parent, with anyone. with the people you're helping, when you're engaging with them and you see them take this deep breath and then let it go, then they're ready to open up. And it's so beautiful when you see that. I'm giving the coaching meetings and people are like, and then they go, and I'm like, yes. So watch out for that sigh, watch out for that big breath, and then you know you're there.
It's like a big relief, like
Yes,
I am ready.
I am opening up. I am letting go of the barriers. I am opening up my heart.
Yeah.
And letting you in to help me, or I'm receiving your love. It's beautiful. Next time you see it, you're gonna remember me.
Oh my gosh, that's great. I love this.
It's really amazing how.
I need you to come back to Regina a lot more.